My breasts are unique. My breasts are two very different sizes. I have little boob over here, big boob over here. The big one has a big birthmark on the side, and that's interesting. It's a very light birthmark. My breasts look as though the gods took a breast off of one woman and a breast off of another woman and put them together on me.
Due to breastfeeding 2 children, they are actually starting to sag a little. And I'm wearing a B cup right now.
Sometimes I feel that they look like water balloons. In a bra, they look fabulous, but once they're out, I feel like they look like, you know, a water balloon. They're kind of flat on the top and bigger at the bottom. And I look at my mom's and I'm worried they're gonna be like that, and I know they will. But otherwise, I think they're beautiful.
Well, they're a lot different now than they were before I had babies. Well, you know, I'm 54, so they're kind of saggy and a little tired, but they're part of me, so that's okay.
Well, they're round and not really too big, not really too small. Well, I guess too big for me, not big enough for some people.
I asked my aunt about it. I was very concerned. I was afraid that I would be with someone and they would think I was a big freak or something. And so I was expressing this to my aunt and she said, honey, by the time they get a hold of one, they're just so happy they don't even notice.
I think the only one I can think of is I had to teach my husband how to use them. He would try to tune them like radio dials. Joke. I'm sorry. But he's getting better at it now.
I was once pointed at across an entire grocery store set of lines because I have a tattoo across my breast, and I got like a, you know, and I'm like, you know. So yeah, that's probably my favorite.
Some of my friends, after they breastfed their babies, they gained in a cup size for every baby they breastfed, which was really nice for them, except it was the opposite for me. I used to be a C, and now I'm like maybe an A on a good day. So I lost my sizes as I breastfed my babies, but I would have breastfed no matter what. I could go into like negative A or whatever, I still would have breastfed.
I remember when I was in junior high and I hated my breasts, and I would try to cover them up with anything and everything possible, but I never wanted to wear a bra. So it'd always be like no bra and like this huge shirt that was like a men's oversized like 5-time shirt. That was all my junior high years. But I got boobs when I was in like 2nd grade, so I guess I've been dealing with them for a long time. We're good friends now, I guess.
I have very complicated thoughts on breast cancer. I think, you know, and I just read an article actually about breast cancer and how it's this very tangled web of the way we have these, you know, these big companies are putting these pollutants into the air and I mean have been for years, all of these things that cause cancer, and then breast cancer has become the nice cause to rally around, and it's become just another thing for companies to make money off of. The same companies that are killing us, the same companies that are giving us breast cancer. You know, it's become this big tool. I don't know. It's just this vicious cycle. You know, they pump things into the environment that give us cancer, and then, oh, let's rally around breast cancer and we'll sell you things, pretty pink things to buy for breast cancer. And I think it's kind of disgusting and twisted.
I don't know anyone personally who has it. I do know it affects a lot of people, and we are going through great strides to find a cure for it, and I think that's an incredible thing, people in general.
My grandmother had a single mastectomy because of breast cancer, and my mom has regular mammograms because of it, and she had a cousin that died of it. So it's close to home yet not, because my grandmother was kind of like a pistol and didn't really give a shit. She was like, fine, take it, whatever, you know, and it didn't really matter to her, and she would go, look, it's gone. So there wasn't a struggle or a battle or anything like that's usually associated with it. They just took it, and it did eventually metastasize to the rest of her body, and that eventually she passed from. But she was 96, and she didn't take any of her follow-up drugs. So,
Wow.
she did okay.
I think a lot more could be done. I would like to see more funding put into the research. I just found out today, someone who's come into my office for housing because she's homeless has breast cancer. And she was doing everything she could just to keep it together for the interview. And I think we need to do a lot more.
It's sad that so many women have to go through something so painful. I mean, that I imagine is so painful. I've never had breast cancer, so I don't really know, but I could just imagine it being a horrible experience. And I, for the most part, have not really been that close to my breasts, but the getting breast cancer still scares me, even though I don't really have that close of a relationship with my breasts. I would never want to lose them, even if I don't have that relationship. And I guess that's really what breast cancer comes down to in my mind, is losing your breasts. Like, they'll be gone if you get breast cancer. And it's so much more than that, but I guess my mind just kind of simplifies it to that.
I don't know if this is common for most women, but my nipples are very sensitive, and I could actually, there have been a few times where I've almost had an orgasm just from things being done to my nipples. So, yeah, they're good to me.
I'm glad they're there for that reason too. And my husband agrees.
They're flip-flop. I mean, they're sometimes they're on and sometimes they're off. One time, someone touches them and it's like a flash, and you're whoa, and your whole body heats up. And other times it's like, what are you bothering with those for? So yeah, I think it's great that they have a sexual purpose, but I also find it interesting that we are one of the only countries in the entire world that sees them as a sexual object. They are merely something to feed children with and to promote life with and progress life with in a lot of other places. So it's kind of gross that we're weird.
Well, that's a good part of my sexuality. I'm glad that I have them because I enjoy them being loved by my partner, and I enjoy loving her back in that way.
Me and my breasts don't really have a very good sexual relationship. I don't have much feeling in my breasts and my nipples, so I'm just kind of like, whatever, they're there and they're part of my body and whatever, but it's not like I'm like, man, if I didn't have my breasts, sex would suck. Sex would probably be about the exact same if I didn't have my breasts.
Want to see them?